Welcome. My name is Jason Yu, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Business Development for Penta Security Systems. This section highlights Cloudbric Business Edition, or Cloudbric BE, the first autonomous WAF for enterprise environments. Cloudbric BE monitors your inbound and outbound web traffic on the OSI 7 application layer as a service without any need for users to contact customer service or configure complex security settings. Cloudbric BE can block most attacks without signature updates and boasts low false positives without compromising on web performance and availability. Perimeter-based web security, combined with minimal web latency, will become an increasingly critical topic in the future. Cloudbric's leading WAF technology can make the expansive World Wide Web into something more manageable and tameable. You may have already heard what a WAF is supposed to do. WAFs are designed to block web attacks, identity theft, DDoS attacks, and website defacement. By keeping attacks out of the web server and ultimately the network itself, as well as the backend databases, WAFs were designed to make the idea of doing any sort of business on the internet easier. Of course, all this security is meaningless unless web performance can be preserved. In other words, can your WAF block enough attacks without slowing down web speed to a point where your customers will notice? Finding an acceptable balance between security, speed, and ease of use is the future of web security, and a good WAF should be able to help the customer achieve all three. If you're not familiar with what a WAF is supposed to do, please check the previous video. If you Google web application firewalls, you'll see a variety of different WAF vendors and WAF service providers. Yet monitoring the web and determining what is an attack and what's legitimate traffic is not a simple technology with vendors using the same approaches. Some vendors may be able to block many web attacks, but may also be blocking legitimate traffic. Or maybe they block attacks well, but the web performance is too slow. Perhaps the web performance is okay, but a lot of web attacks are coming through. Different approaches to these sorts of dilemmas make the WAF universe remarkably stratified. As a result, the customer needs to be smart about how they plan to tame their web traffic. So what is the right WAF for you? Let's take a look at the three major criteria that we see as important for web security, namely the quality of web monitoring technology, ease of use for users, and industry recognition or market presence. Why is advanced technology important for web security? The internet is truly a beast. The OSI 7 layer is open to the world. Closing this door to the world can kill business opportunities, and trying to achieve security by building a bigger wall will likely create a lot of unhappy customers who cannot access the web services they desperately want to use. Leaving it open will inevitably attract web hackers of all levels who can not only initiate embarrassing defacement or DDoS attacks, but can also reside within your network to steal business secrets, customer data, and so much more. So WAF needs to block most attacks and simultaneously allow access to as many legitimate users as possible. Advanced technology that is still easy to approach is also a key for any customer evaluating web security firewalls. In order to determine what's a web attack and what is not a web attack in the modern world, the WAF needs to be extremely smart. So what's a smart WAF? It needs to block attacks accurately with low false negatives and positives. That is, whatever the WAF deems to be an attack should be an attack, because if it isn't, a legitimate user was blocked. This is a false positive. Conversely, false negatives are when web attacks are mistakenly judged to be legitimate traffic. This means that the attack, at the very least, has breached the perimeter, is already inside the network. This is what's called a false negative. False positives therefore affect speed, performance, and web application availability. False negatives seriously undermine web security and can lead to more severe attacks down the road. In other words, Low false positives and negative rates are always a good thing. The lesser you have, the better. Most WAFs are completely and entirely dependent on blacklists to ban traffic deemed malicious and whitelists to establish what is deemed legitimate traffic. Signatures can be effective, but we're dealing with infinite possibilities, i.e., the wide variety of web attacks, with finite tools, pattern matching signatures. This model presumes that at some point, the number of signatures will eventually slow down or even stop web performance. Think about processing each of the if comments above for every single piece of traffic that comes into a web server. It's like working at a tow booth and checking every car or truck that passes against a list of suspected cars. Checking every vehicle will obviously slow down web performance, possibly making web services unavailable altogether. That's what customers are essentially using when they use a WAF that is purely dependent on signature patterns. As new attacks are discovered on a daily basis, new signatures should be prepared to fight them. This means even more signatures against which all traffic must be checked. This means even more slowdowns. And again, slowdowns eventually lead to the stoppage of web services altogether. Cloudbric BE is based on Pentasecurity's Wapples web application firewall. Wapples is not completely dependent on signature patterns, with the seamless incorporation of a logic-based analysis machine. In other words, we're not looking for specific attacks per se. We're looking for consistent patterns from the attacks, which then allows us to minimize the number of signature patterns that need to be stored on the web server. This allows for better management, but most importantly, this allows for more accurate web attack detection with low false positives. I would like to be very clear. Updated signatures are critical to updating the WAF itself, especially when the WAF is built only on signatures. As such, almost all of our competitors charge premium fees for this service. Others rely on community blocks. I'll address both of these models. It only makes sense that the best signature updates will come from a paid maintenance contract. Because the quality of the updates are entirely dependent on the talents of those writing them, and because the better engineers in this web security field can be extremely expensive, it also makes some sense that the vendors who are serious about signature updates will charge a premium fee. On the other hand, community blogs are vehicles that WAF vendors use to forego the responsibility of updating the WAFs themselves. Furthermore, there is no guarantee that the signatures being shared in such a community are effective, or in some cases can be used to create even more vulnerabilities for the target website, web server, or web applications. It is my professional opinion that signatures must be designed by experts who know web attacks. Leaving that responsibility to an undefined community not only can be ineffective, it could be downright dangerous. Cloudbric BE does not make customers pay for signature updates. Its logic analysis engine does not require constant signature updates, and if there is a need to distribute specific signature updates for a new attack, we will gladly provide it as part of the WAF monitoring service. More importantly, any updates to our web attack detection or signature updates are executed by experienced WAF experts. Our business model does not allow for us to charge our customers for updating their WAFs, and we certainly do not forward that responsibility to our customers. The second question is about web security management. Simply put, it takes a lot of knowledge, experience, and expertise to run any organization's web security program. So who looks after the security? Is it the customer? Is it an IT consultant? Is it a reseller? For Cloudbric BE, we monitor all of your web traffic and block out any traffic that we accurately determine to be harmful. We also make sure that any traffic deemed legitimate can access websites, servers, and applications efficiently. Let's take a closer look. For Cloudbric BE, we take care of all troubleshooting automatically. That means that if we see any problem, we'll take care of it. If there's a particular IP address that keeps attacking you, we'll blacklist it. A DDoS attack, we will block the sources. A particular region or country that you have absolutely no business in, but one that keeps attacking you, we'll take care of it. No more access from that country. We do not expect our customers to know all the ins and outs about web security, performance, and availability. We'll take care of that for our customers. That means you do not have to detect the problem and call, wait, and respond for service. We're already on top of it because our primary responsibility is to monitor who is coming in and out of your website. Security configurations can be very confusing to even network engineers, especially to those who do not have extensive knowledge and experience about web layer issues. With Cloudbric BE, we take care of all security configurations and settings for your particular website. Of course, customers can tell us what their priorities are, and we can design custom security settings for them. But if you don't have any particular preferences, but simply want to block web attacks without compromising performance, then we'll take care of all that for you. Security settings for optimal performance and security. Cloudbric BE can provide both for you. We want to make Cloudbric BE as easy as possible to use, even for non-IT staff. Our clients include more than 3,000 businesses, from enterprises to startups and SMBs. As smaller organizations usually do not have IT staff, not to mention anyone who has extensive knowledge about IT security, we have made Cloudbric BE easy enough to implement for any kind of customer. There are 3 easy steps, as indicated above, to enjoy Cloudbric BE. As a result, our customers do not need dedicated security professionals. Also, our intuitive dashboard makes it possible to obtain website statistics and accumulative traffic. We've heard that many of our competitors charge for multi-region management. This leads to many customers managing each region separately, and this doesn't make too much sense to us. We think that one unilateral management console is something that customers shouldn't have to pay extra for. Cloudbric BE does not charge anything extra to customers who wish to manage multiple regions on a single console. All WAFs or WAF services are not created equally. So how do you compare between them? The ideal WAF should block as many web attacks as possible and with the highest level of accuracy as possible, prevent information theft from the web server, and bypass legitimate traffic in an efficient manner, all without affecting web performance or web application availability in any meaningful way. So any good WAF should block as many attacks as possible and validate as many legitimate users as possible, all without affecting speed. Evaluating on this basis is impossible for most customers. It would take too much time to test multiple WAFs, and even if the customer did take time to invest into comprehensive testing, WAF vendors can easily manipulate security settings to undermine any meaningfulness of the data. So customers need to look for other ways to determine the best WAF service or WAF for them. The next 2 questions can be a good way to determine the merits or their lack thereof. First, has the WAF that you're looking at been recognized? Second, is the WAF that you're looking at being used by real customers in the market? Let's take a closer look at both. Is the WAF technology recognized? Industry recognition is only a part of the picture, but their evaluation can be a good way to judge the technology behind a WAF. It's a glimpse into the core technology as it pertains to the questions above. How good is the web attack blocking mechanism? How well does it bypass legitimate users? How is the false positive negative rates? At the very least, such recognition can be the assurance that customers need to determine that the WAF vendor is a player in the industry. Here are two major sources of industry recognition for Cloudbric BE and WAPLs. Common criteria certification is relevant to the source codes upon which the WAF software has been built. For Cloudbric, its WAF detection software has received CC-EAL4. This is one of the highest ratings for any WAF vendor, and the EAL4 designation also signifies that the source codes have been reviewed by common criteria, which then certify that no harmful malware or codes have been found inside. So CC-EAL4 is really an assurance to our customers that there is no harmful component at the code level. ICSA Lab certification is relevant to the security detection capabilities of the WAF. Cloudbric's ICSA certification shows that its web blocking mechanism is comparable to other major WAF industry leaders in the world. Our WAF has also been covered by Gartner in the Magic Quadrant and has been recognized by Frost & Sullivan, amongst others. Another question to evaluate a WAF or a WAF service. Are people and organizations actually using it in the market today? Penta Security Systems, the company that developed both WAPLs and Cloudbric, is one of the top WAF players in APAC. Founded in 1997 as a PKI company, Penta Security introduced its WAPLs in 2004, its cloud software WAPLs V series in 2011, and its WAF service Cloudbric in 2015. For 3 straight years between 2013 and 2015, Penta Security has been recognized by Frost & Sullivan as the top WAF provider in all of APAC. With over 3,000 customers, Cloudbric has been proven to be an effective security solution valued by its customers. One final question: is your WAF ready for the cloud? Since this is an AWS-related audience, another good question would be to ask if the WAF is ready for the AWS cloud environment. Cloudbric is an official AWS technology partner. In fact, Cloudbric Security as a Service is available exclusively through AWS. Furthermore, Cloudbric can be integrated with other AWS services such as CloudWatch and CloudFront. We have built our Cloud WAF through AWS, and as a result, we are very familiar with the AWS infrastructure. I hope that you will keep Cloudbric in mind as you build out more of what you do on the web through AWS. Thank you very much.